Not everything that hasn't opened is lost. There are doors that God keeps closed because it is not the right time yet. But when He decides to open them, no one can stop it. Pray with me today. Lord, today, I come before you acknowledging something that is not always easy for me to accept. That not everything depends on me. That not everything can be solved by effort alone. And that not every door will open just because I keep trying again and again. You know every attempt I have made, every time I knocked expecting an answer, every opportunity I thought was the right one and yet never came to pass. You know how many times I have sat in silence wondering if I did something wrong, if I should have tried harder, spoken differently, waited longer, or if it simply was not meant for me and I refused to see it. There are moments, Lord, when the silence feels heavier than any answer, moments when nothing seems to move, when everything feels stuck, and no matter how much I try to move forward, I find myself in the same place again. In those moments, my mind begins to fill with doubt, with questions that do not have immediate answers, with thoughts that drain me more than they help me. I start to question the timing, the decisions I made, the ones I did not make, and even my own ability to keep going when I cannot see results. But today, I do not want to stay trapped in that cycle. I do not want to keep looking at closed doors as signs of failure or as the end of the road. Today, I want to learn to see them the way you see them, even if I do not fully understand them yet. Because if there is something I am beginning to understand, even when it is difficult, it is that not every closed door is rejection. Some are direction, some are protection, and many are preparation. Preparation for something I cannot yet see, for a moment that has not arrived, for a season in which I need to be ready not only externally, but internally. Lord, help me accept that your timing does not always align with mine, that what I want right now may not be what I truly need in this moment, and that what you are doing in silence, even when I do not understand it, carries a purpose far beyond my limited perspective. Today I place in your hands that frustration I sometimes carry quietly, that feeling of trying and not seeing results, that exhaustion that comes when it feels like nothing is changing around me. I do not want to keep fighting against closed doors as if everything depends on pushing harder. And I do not want to wear myself out trying to force paths that you have not opened. Give me the maturity to pause, to breathe, and to recognize that there are things that are simply not mine to control. If I have been insisting in the wrong places, if I have been chasing opportunities that are not from you, correct my direction with clarity but also with mercy. Remove from me the need for everything to happen on my timeline, and teach me to trust even when I do not see progress, even when the process feels slow, even when the silence makes me uncomfortable, because I know that you do not work under pressure, and you do not respond to my desperation, but to a perfect purpose that is often revealed only with time. Today I choose to release that invisible weight of needing to understand everything, of wanting immediate answers, of needing quick results just to feel at peace. I would rather walk with you into the unknown than move forward alone into something that does not come from you. Teach me to remain steady without needing constant signs, to trust your direction even when it is not obvious, and to rest in the assurance that you are working even when everything feels still, even when I hear nothing, even when the path is not clear. And while I wait, Lord, work within me, bring order to my thoughts, calm my anxiety, and help me not to become desperate over what has not yet happened. Do not allow doubt to become stronger than my faith, and do not let exhaustion cause me to let go of what you have placed in my heart. Give me peace to accept what is not for me, and faith to keep believing in what I cannot yet see, knowing that if a door has not opened, it is not always because I cannot, but because you have not said that it is time. Lord, as I stand in this moment of surrender, I ask you not only to prepare me, but also to begin moving in ways that only you can. There are doors in my life that I cannot reach, situations I cannot control, and opportunities that will never come through my own effort alone. That is why today I am not asking from a place of pressure, but from a place of trust, knowing that when you move, everything shifts in a way that no human effort could ever accomplish. If there are doors that align with your will for my life, doors that lead to growth, purpose, provision, and peace, I ask that you open them at the right time, in the right way, and with a clarity that leaves no confusion in my heart. When those opportunities appear, do not allow me to overlook them out of fear, insecurity, or hesitation. Give me the awareness to recognize what comes from you, even when it does not look exactly the way I expected. Sometimes I have limited my own vision by trying to define the outcome instead of trusting your direction. Today I release that need to control how things should happen, and I choose to remain open to the ways you choose to work. Let me not miss what you place in front of me simply because it arrives in a form I did not anticipate. Grant me discernment so I do not confuse distractions with divine direction. Not everything that looks like an opportunity is meant for me, and not everything that is meant for me will appear obvious at first. Help me develop the sensitivity to recognize your voice above my own thoughts, above external noise, and above the urgency that often pushes me to make decisions too quickly. Let every step I take be guided by your wisdom rather than my impulses, so that I do not walk into places that take me away from what you have prepared. And as you begin to open doors and bring opportunities into my life, I ask that you also shape my character so I can sustain what you entrust to me. Keep me grounded, keep me humble, and remind me that nothing I receive is solely the result of my ability, but a reflection of your grace working through me. Do not allow success to distance me from you, and do not let progress create pride within me. Instead, let every new step deepen my dependence on you, so that I never forget where my strength truly comes from. Let your favor go before me in ways I cannot manufacture on my own. Align circumstances, connect me with the right people, and place me in environments where what you have placed inside of me can grow and be used for a greater purpose. Let your favor remove obstacles that I would otherwise struggle to overcome, and open paths that I would not have known existed, not for my own recognition, but so that your hand can be evident in everything that unfolds in my life. Where there has been stagnation, bring movement. Where there has been confusion, bring clarity. Where there has been delay, bring alignment. And where there has been doubt, replace it with a quiet but steady confidence that comes from knowing that you are actively working, even when I cannot see immediate results. Teach me to walk with assurance without becoming careless, to move forward without becoming rushed, and to remain steady without becoming passive. If there are areas in my life where I have settled out of fear, where I have stopped expecting anything new because of past disappointments, awaken my faith again. Not a loud or forced faith, but a grounded confidence that trusts in your ability to do what I cannot. Remind me that your timing is not an obstacle, but a form of protection, and that what comes through you carries a stability that nothing else can provide. Today I place before you every area where I need doors to open, every space where I need direction, and every situation where I need your intervention. I'm no longer asking from a place of desperation, but from a place of alignment, trusting that what you open will be right, what you close will be necessary, and what you prepare will be worth the wait. Let my life not be defined by forced efforts, but by divinely guided steps, so that everything that unfolds reflects not just movement, but purpose. In the middle of everything that is beginning to shift, I ask that you shape my discernment so that I do not mistake movement for direction. It is easy to feel hopeful when something new appears, but not everything that looks promising carries your approval. There have been moments in my life where I stepped forward simply because something opened, not because it was truly meant for me. And I ended up investing time, energy, and emotions into paths that slowly led me away from where I needed to be. Today, I am asking you for something deeper than opportunity. I am asking for alignment. Let my decisions not be driven by pressure, comparison, or the fear of missing out. There are times when it feels like I need to act quickly, as if waiting will cause me to lose something important. But I know that what comes from you does not require confusion or panic to be sustained. Remove from me the impulse to rush into situations just because they seem available. Teach me to pause long enough to recognize whether something carries your peace or simply feeds my impatience. Refine my ability to hear you beyond my own thoughts. There is a difference between what I want and what you are guiding me toward, and sometimes that difference is subtle. My own desires can sound convincing, especially when they align with what I have been hoping for. But I do not want to follow something simply because it feels good in the moment. I want to be guided by something steady, something grounded, something that remains clear even after emotions settle. Help me recognize that kind of clarity. If I ever stand in front of an open door that is not meant for me, give me the strength to walk away without hesitation. Do not allow me to be so focused on the idea of progress that I ignore the warning signs of misalignment. Sometimes the hardest decision is not stepping forward, but choosing not to enter something that looks right on the surface but carries the wrong foundation underneath. Strengthen me so that I do not settle for what is available when you have something better prepared. At the same time, if you place something in front of me that truly aligns with your purpose, remove every form of doubt that would cause me to hesitate unnecessarily. There have been moments where fear disguised itself as caution, and I held back from stepping into something that was actually meant for me. I do not want to miss what you are doing because I overanalyze or second-guess myself into inaction. Teach me the difference between wise discernment and fear-based hesitation so that I can move forward with confidence when the moment is right. Order my steps in a way that is consistent, not chaotic. I do not want a path that feels rushed, unstable, or constantly uncertain. I want a direction that unfolds with clarity, even if it takes time, even if it requires patience, even if it asks me to trust without having all the answers. Let each step confirm the previous one, creating a sense of continuity that reassures me that I am not moving randomly, but being guided intentionally. Guard my heart from comparison, because comparison distorts direction. When I look at what others are doing, it becomes easy to feel like I am behind, like I need to catch up, like I need to take any available opportunity just to feel like I am moving forward. But I know that my path is not meant to mirror someone else's journey. What you are building in my life has its own timing, its own structure, and its own purpose. Help me stay focused on that without being distracted by what I see around me. Remove any attachment I have to outcomes that you did not design. Sometimes I hold on too tightly to what I imagine my life would look like, and when reality does not match that image, I struggle to let go. But I do not want to be so committed to my expectations that I miss your direction. Give me the flexibility to release what no longer aligns, even if I once believed it was right. And as I continue forward, let my confidence come from knowing that I am being guided, not from trying to prove that I am capable. I do not need to force my way into spaces where I do not belong. I do not need to convince anyone of my worth. If something is truly from you, it will not require me to compromise who I am or abandon what you have placed inside of me. Let that truth settle deeply within me so that I can move with quiet confidence instead of constant striving. Keep me grounded in a way that allows me to recognize when to move and when to remain still. Not every moment requires action, and not every delay is a setback. Sometimes staying where I am is part of the process, and learning to be still is just as important as knowing when to step forward. Teach me to respect both, so that I do not disrupt what you are building by acting out of impatience. In all of this, what I'm truly asking for is not just open doors, but the wisdom to walk through the right ones at the right time with the right mindset. I do not want to arrive at places that look successful but feel empty. I do not want to achieve things that pull me away from your purpose. I want every step to be meaningful, every decision to be aligned, and every direction to reflect the path you have prepared for me long before I ever saw it. At this point, I choose to stand in quiet confidence, not because everything around me has changed, but because I trust that you are already at work in ways I cannot fully see yet. There is a calm that begins to settle when I stop trying to force outcomes and start recognizing that your direction carries a certainty that does not depend on immediate evidence. I am no longer approaching this moment from a place of pressure or urgency, but from a place of trust, knowing that what is truly meant for me will not require me to chase it in confusion or hold on to it in fear. Everything I have been carrying, every expectation, every unanswered question, every situation that has felt delayed or uncertain, I place it in your hands without trying to control how or when it should be resolved. I understand now that holding on to those things too tightly only creates tension within me, and that real peace comes from trusting that you are able to handle what I cannot. There is no need for me to keep replaying scenarios in my mind or trying to predict outcomes that are not mine to determine. What belongs to me is obedience, trust, and the willingness to move when you make it clear. As I continue forward from this moment, I ask that you keep my steps steady and intentional. I do not want to move out of impatience, nor do I want to remain stuck out of fear. Let there be a balance in how I walk, where each step reflects both wisdom and trust. If something requires action, make it clear enough that I can move without hesitation. And if something requires waiting, give me the patience to remain at peace without feeling like I am falling behind. I no longer want to measure progress by speed, but by alignment. Remove any lingering doubt that tries to convince me that nothing is happening simply because I cannot see immediate results. I understand that growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible, and that what you are establishing in my life is not temporary or unstable, but intentional and lasting. Help me stay grounded in that understanding so that I do not become discouraged during seasons that feel quiet or slow. Let me recognize that silence does not mean absence, and that delay does not mean denial. I also choose to release any attachment to specific outcomes that I may have held on to, even when I believe something was right. I acknowledge that your perspective is greater than mine. If what I expected is not what you have planned, I trust that what you are preparing will be better suited for where I am going. I do not want to limit my future by holding on to ideas that no longer align with your direction. Give me the freedom to let go without resistance, and the clarity to embrace what you place before me with confidence. Let my life begin to reflect a different kind of movement, not one driven by pressure, comparison, or the need to prove anything, but one guided by quiet assurance. I do not need to rush into spaces that are not prepared for me, and I do not need to hold on to opportunities that require me to compromise who I am. If something is truly from you, it will align with the person you are shaping me to become, and it will not require me to step outside of that in order to maintain it. As doors begin to open in the right time, I ask that you keep my focus in the right place. Do not let me become distracted by what is happening around me, or lose sight of the purpose behind what you are doing. Let every opportunity that comes into my life be handled with wisdom, humility, and awareness, so that I do not misuse what you have entrusted to me. Keep me grounded enough to recognize that every step forward is not something I achieved alone, but something that was made possible through your guidance. From this moment forward, I walk with a different understanding. I am not waiting in uncertainty, I am positioned in preparation. I am not being overlooked, I am being aligned. I am not stuck, I am being directed with intention. And even if everything around me does not immediately reflect that, I choose to believe it with consistency, not just when it feels easy, but also when it requires faith. I leave this prayer without fear of what comes next, because I trust that whatever unfolds is under your direction. I will stay connected to you and follow where you lead, knowing that what you open will be right, what you close will be necessary, and what you establish will remain. Amen.